Good afternoon. I'm Brian Downs, and this is a Republic if you can keep it. It is January 14th, 2026. It's about 1:20 in the afternoon. I'm coming to you from Orlando, Florida. It's been 11 days since President Donald Trump seized Nicolas Maduro out of Venezuela in a military operation, a special forces operation that killed dozens of Venezuelans. And has caused an international scandal because it was in violation of international law. Yes, Nicolas Maduro is a villain and a tyrant, but that doesn't mean that law doesn't exist. You see, when you're not a villain and a tyrant, you pay attention to things like this. So, President Trump seized Maduro, who is now awaiting trial in New York City, although precisely how that's going to unfold is a question that's baffling legal scholars. But what I'm here to talk about is President Trump then took a meeting with American oil executives. President Trump, of course, has said since kidnapping Maduro that, Venezuela has great natural resources, wealth, great oil reserves, and now America is going to profit by them. American companies are going to profit by them. We are going to take a lot of money out of the country of Venezuela. But then, when he actually thought to sit down and talk to the American oil industry, as represented by many high-ranking executives from various companies, they said, no thanks. Number one, the last time we were in Venezuela, our industry, our assets, our property was seized from us, nationalized by the Venezuelan government. You took Maduro, but Maduro's regime is still in place. The acting president of Venezuela is Maduro's vice president, Rodriguez. So the regime is still in place. We don't see why we should think that we wouldn't get nationalized again. Also, say the oil executives, no thank you, because we would have to go into Venezuela, rebuild their obsolete and failing oil industry infrastructure at huge cost over many years, hoping again not to get nationalized the whole way along. By the way, why wouldn't the Venezuelans just nationalize it, just seize it from the American companies once it's been rebuilt? In any case, we need to go in there, spend a huge amount of money and a lot of time to rebuild. We don't want to make that investment because, another fun fact, there's a glut on the oil market right now. That's why gas prices are low. There's more supply than is really necessary to meet demand. So no, American companies aren't saying yes. We would love to get involved in an expensive, long-term, difficult rehabilitation of Venezuela's oil reserves and related infrastructure, while all the while doing business in a country who's just been significantly destabilized by the kidnapping of Maduro, who was not, incidentally, the legitimate ruler of Venezuela, but did have his many supporters. Who knows what's in the future for Venezuela? Insurrection, regime change, civil war. So, the oil companies say, that seems like a risky bet to spend a lot of time and a lot of money to get oil we don't want because we've already got more than we know what to do with, in a place, the future of which is, shall we say, hard to predict. And I think what they didn't say directly, but maybe inferred, is that they don't want to be doing business with President Trump, who is, well, as we know, a lunatic, an idiot, a pathological liar, someone who governs by fiat, firing off tweets in the wee hours of the morning, and who may change his mind about anything at any minute, and also is doomed. It's quite clear that his administration is incapable of accomplishing anything. They are about to get wiped out in the midterms. And Trump, if he remains in office, which is unlikely, he will almost certainly be impeached for his innumerable impeachable offenses, or removed via the 25th Amendment because it is obvious to the world that his brain is tapioca, or he might drop dead because his health is clearly in decline. In any case, Trump is not going to be in charge of anything for very much longer. And even if he were, why would they want to do business with this man who is so mercurial, so vindictive, so impulsive. The Trump administration would have known all of this before they snatched Maduro if they bothered to ask anyone, but of course they didn't. Because Donald Trump does what Donald Trump wants on a moment's notice. Because whatever happened to pop into his head just right this minute is the best thing in the world, the smartest idea in the world. Nobody's smarter than he is, and no one should tell him differently.